Armada Kickoff is brought to you by Community First Credit Union, Winn-Dixie, Baptist Health, Bowden Eye and Associates, Brumos Automotive, and Coastal Spine and Pain Center.
Hello and welcome into Armada Kickoff. The regular season is just around the corner, and the Armada have only a few more weeks to prepare for the 2016 NASL opener. Coming up, we look back at Jacksonville's final tune-up against another NASL squad, and we'll hear from head coach Tony Meola about the players who have caught his eye.
We talked to the former USL Golden Boot winner Matt Fondy about his style of play, and we have your guide to experiencing the Armada season opener at New York here in style in Jacksonville.
Plus, Bob Veal in Bob's Boot Room, Andy Kidd and David Hayes join us on the Analyst Roundtable. They'll make some predictions on the season. But let's start with the first ever meeting between the Armada and one of the NASL's newest clubs. Jacksonville went on the road and beat one of this year's NASL expansion clubs, Miami FC, last month. And Friday, it was the other team who will begin play in the spring, Rayo OKC, who visited Patton Park for a preseason match. Rayo has 5 players on the roster who have played in a World Cup, so this is not your run-of-the-mill expansion team, and it showed on the pitch. Final preseason tune-up for the Armada against a pro team, Rayo OKC in town, and the expansion NASL club off to a fast start. Here's an NASL veteran, Richard Menjivar, the former Tampa Bay Rowdy. He knocks it in to make it a 1-0 lead for Rayo OKC. Then, just minutes later, Menjivar again, his second in the span of just a few minutes, make it a 2-0 Rayo OKC lead. But the Armada would come back. Great passing here. Richie Ryan to Patrick Otter to Charles Alondu, and Alondu nets his 4th goal of the preseason. Watch the pass again from Richie Ryan. He drops it right into Otter. In 56th minute, the Armada are to within a goal of Rayo OKC. But from there, Rayo able to get things in a comfortable position. 87th minute now off the set piece. It's the Orlando native Ian Sventensen who puts it away, makes it a 3-1 Rayo OKC victory. That was the final as the Armada drop one to an expansion team who looks to be pretty tough in the NASL.
Rayo's a good team. They moved the ball well. It was a frustrating day. I don't think we were at our best today, but you know, it's a learning experience. It's better that we do it during preseason. We're still learning as a group.
I think it shows that we've got a big 3 weeks ahead of us. We've got quite a bit still left to work on. I thought there were some passages of play where we moved the ball quick and we looked very dangerous at times, especially the first 25 minutes of the second half. We worked our way back into the game, but then we've got to see that out and give ourselves a chance of getting the equaliser until the end and not be sloppy off set pieces.
All right, take a look at some of the numbers. There were not official stats kept in this match. Alondu's goal, though, his 4th of the preseason. He was really opening up some eyes. The 21-year-old did have a cup of coffee with Colorado Rapids, Cameroonian, making the adjustment to the North American Soccer League and doing it fairly easily in terms of the attack anyway. Preseason record for the Armada, 4 victories, 2 draws, and 3 defeats, although final scores not always indicative of how things go in the preseason.
It might not have been the outcome that the Armada was looking for against Rayo OKC, but there are some positives to take from the game, like the fair and fair man of the match, Charles Alondu, adding another goal to his preseason tally. On the cross from Patrick Otter, Charles put just enough on the ball to put it past Rayo OKC's Daniel Fernandez, bringing the game to a 2-1 at the time, giving the Armada a fighting chance to make a comeback. That was Alondu's 4th time to find the back of the net. He also scored against the New York Red Bulls, Tulsa Roughnecks, and had the game winner against MLS opponent Philadelphia Union in the preseason.
Players that you can switch around, and we're going to be very strong.
We saw a lot of different players, a lot of different lineups.
Time now for the Analyst Roundtable, presented by Subway. We're joined by David Hayes and Andy Kidd. All right, guys, no Armada matches between now and April the 2nd against Flagler. Andy, what can they do in this intervening time to get ready for the season?
I really think it's solidifying the lineup. All right, who are those players that are going to be playing on the right side of the field together, creating those relationships, learning what they do, who's going to overlap who are they targeting up top? Is it Fondy? Is it Keita? Just continuing to solidify that. That lineup so they know going into the first game, all right, who are those 11 that are going to be out there and who are those most likely 3 that are coming off the bench?
Absolutely, creating identity. Who are we? So I think that's what you can get. But in the beginning of the season, you want to make sure they get fit. You want to make sure they get fit with the ball, without the ball, and then they have to, slow the game down so that in possession, because that yard will now feel like 10 yards of space,
Right.
And so I think just going into the last game, I think they just need to stay consistent, no injuries, and then gain an identity.
All right, I'm going to put you guys on the hot seat here. Make some predictions. What are we going to see this season? What kind of team is this going to be? Look into the crystal ball. What do you have?
I think we're going to be very, very solid. I think we're going to dictate the run of play. I think we're going to create a lot of chances. And I think we're going to do something this year that we didn't do last, is hold leads and defend a little bit better than we did last year. I think Tony's going to, solidify that up.
Right. I think there's been 9 preseason games so far and given up a goal or less in 6 of them. So, I think Tony's shown that they're going to be committed to the back and keeping balls out of the net. So I think you're not going to see 4-3 games, like you saw some last year, or 3-3 games. But I think you're going to see the Armada in some 1-0, 2-1 games, and they've really made a commitment to that defensive third that is, hopefully, as David said, going to keep leads.
Andy Kidd, David Hayes, more from you guys coming up in just a bit. Matt Fondy is known as a goal scorer, having success when he comes to finding the net in the past seasons. He scored twice this preseason, and Fondy may be getting closer to getting on a roll.
In-swinger with the left foot, and Fondy got a foot on it, but that is what the Armada want to see with Fondy.
Forward, just like goalkeepers, it's a rhythm position, when you get into a groove and you get into a rhythm, much like, a pitcher that one game, looks like he's a world beater in baseball, and then the next game it looks like can't find the strike zone. You just got to kind of leave them alone and let them do their thing.
And that is scoring for Matt Fondy. The former USL Golden Boot winner scored 22 goals in 2015 for Louisville City FC and is hoping his style of play will benefit the Armada.
More of a poacher, and I think that fit my style more, just kind of running towards the goal, making the center backs be aware of me, which kind of took 2 of them out of the play and made it easier for us to build that.
His style helped create many chances so far for the Armada in the preseason. Even though Fondy's only put the ball away twice, Tony sees that when the NASL season gets underway, the goals will come.
The one thing I will tell you about Matt Fondy is he's very dedicated to his craft. You'll see after training the number of shots he takes every day, and we almost have to pull him off the field half the time. So he really loves to see the ball hit the back of the net, but that's what true goal scorers want to do.
He's got it. The Armada up 2-0, and Matt Fondy has both of them.
Time now for Coach's Corner. This week, Tony Meola told us that he's seeing it all start to come together.
We're finally getting to a point where we understand each other. We've had this situation where we've had guys injured at different periods, and some guys really, if they were finals that we were going to, they would have been on the field, but we just thought it better to sit guys out. We still haven't had Pekka into the mix. He's probably about 2 months away from being in the picture. He's going to be a really important piece to the puzzle, but he's a guy that picks up pretty quickly. So now that we've got everybody on the field and no one on the sideline, it's really important to really establish relationships.
What about using guys in different ways? Keita has been moved around a lot. Are you starting to get a good feel for how some of those more versatile guys, how they work well in different positions?
Yeah, well, Keita's been pretty much in the same role with different jobs throughout games, and the one thing we have to understand about Keita, he's going to play this season at 33 years old, and I've had this conversation with him that he's probably not a guy that's going to go 90 minutes every game, and there'll be times where we just rest him for a game because he's vitally important to the way we want to attack, but we have to have other guys that step in and eat some minutes in that area just because we need guys for the long haul, and he's one of those guys. The guy that's been probably the most versatile during preseason has been Pascal. He's played a little bit deeper. He's played in sort of that number 10 role. He's played out wide, which I think is probably his most comfortable role. But it really is dependent on the opponent, what we need, guys that are available, just all the same things we're going to deal with throughout the season.
Only one game left for the Armada in preseason on April 2nd at Flagler College. Then it's time to kick off the NASL season for the boys in blue as they go up to the Big Apple to take on the New York Cosmos on April 10th. We have Friday night lights for our home opener on April 15th against NASL expansion team Miami FC. Those 2 NASL matchups can be seen right here on CW17. Our pregame coverage starts 30 minutes before kickoff. And single game tickets have gone on sale starting at $18 a match. To purchase yours, call 844-2-ARMADA or go to armadafc.com.
Straight ahead, NASL teams put the final touches on the offseason preparation, and another big name joins the league. We'll go around the NASL coming up.
And we go into Bob's boot room with Bob Veal and see how the Armada are letting the ball do the work for them on the field. More Armada Kickoff is straight ahead.
To enter for your chance to participate in the Winn-Dixie Bubble Battle, visit your nearest Winn-Dixie in your Armada gear, take a selfie, and post it to any of the Armada social media using the hashtag WinnDixieBB. 2 winners will be selected every Wednesday during a home match week. Assemble a team of 3, and you're ready for battle.
Several teams concluded their international travel this week. Let's take a closer look as we go around the NASL, presented by Nike.
Let's start with the signing of another top international player to the NASL. The New York Cosmos signed former Croatian international Niko Kranjčar for the remainder of the spring season. The 31-year-old played for Portsmouth when that club was in the Premier League and helped lead them to an FA Cup championship. He also played for Tottenham Hotspur and Queen's Park Rangers. He's the son of Zlatko Kranjčar, who managed the Croatian national team. Meanwhile, as far as out-of-the-country activity for NASL clubs, FC Edmonton continued to play well on the road in the UK, including a draw with the U21 side from Newcastle United. And Minnesota United's tour in Mexico was a successful one, including a 1-1 draw against the reserve side from Cruz Azul.
All right, you see the NASL preseason schedule coming up here. Tomorrow, it's Ottawa Fury taking on Ottawa Fury. I got Ottawa Fury winning that one. It's an inter-squad work there. University of Louisville and Indy 11. See, what happens at this point of the season, the USL clubs are starting their seasons. MLS has already started. So you got to work pretty hard to find yourself opponents. That's why you see a lot of NASL clubs like the Armada taking on college clubs like Flagler. That'll be April the 2nd. Now let's head to Bob's Boot Room, presented by Collaboration Solutions and Clear Touch. Here are Bob Veal and Ashlea Bullington.
Thanks, Cole. Bob, coaches always tell you, let the ball do the work instead of making yourself do extra work. How is that working for the Armada right now?
I'm going to show you a clip which is against JU where it was single touch or double touch soccer and it led to a goal. Let's watch this clip. Here we are with Otter playing the ball, and you see Richie Ryan in lots of space. 2 touches out to Brian Burke, and Brian Burke finds Danny Barrow. And what you've got to love about this, you can play 2-touch soccer if you've got the space. Look at the space Barrow's in here. He finds the space to receive that ball from Burke. Then let's move to the next phase of this, where Danny Barrow, 2-touch, out to Jamal Johnson on the right there. Jamal puts it across to the far side, and you'll see this ball come right the way across to Sandoval on the far side. Again, he volleys, and 2 things to note here. Matt Fundy here has moved into space. This defender for JU should have been goal side. He's watching the ball. This guy's closing down Akil Barrett here. Where's Danny Barrow? In space here. So the ball could have come to him here, but it's 1-touch soccer. Now let's watch what Fundy does with it. Heads it in for his first goal of the season. His first goal for Armada. Great 1-touch. Now, the second little thing I want to show you here is Tyler Ruthin here. Collects the ball. Otter is not quite sure he's going to get the ball here, and he steps back a little bit. So Ruthen plays the ball, and you'll see it's what we call in the game a hospital pass, because he gets closed down, Otter. And watch what he does. Every kid should learn from this. He lets the ball run, dukes out the player, moves around him, and sets up the attack. So 2 phases there, single touch soccer and Otter's move on the ball.
And the best thing about letting the ball do the work is that you're not as tired.
Yeah, it moves a lot quicker than you do.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Bob. Cole, back to you.
Thanks, Ashley. Straight ahead, Andy Kidd and David Hayes rejoin us as we size up expectations for the upcoming season. Don't go anywhere. More Armada Kickoff right around the corner.
A new chance to come out and see the Armada for a great price is with our 4-pack attack. This is any 4 games of your choice and $20 worth of crew cash to spend at your convenience. And for a limited time, we're offering a bonus ticket. That's 5 tickets. It's to the Armada's home opener on April 15th against new NASL opponent Miami FC. $110 value, starting at just $68. To get the 4-pack attack, call 844-2-ARMADA. The Armada Social Rewards program is a fantastic way to connect with the team and win Armada prizes. Anything from tickets, exclusive interactions with players and coaches, and even an all-inclusive trip to an away game with the team. All you have to do is log on to armadasocialrewards.com, create an account, link your social media accounts, and start earning tokens. Each week here on Armada Kickoff, we pick a random winner. And this week's Social Rewards winner is Zachary Hollis. You've won 2 tickets to the Armada's home opener on April 15th against Miami FC. Now, let's head over to the Analyst Roundtable presented by Subway. Cole?
All right, thank you, Ashley. Back here on the Analyst Roundtable with David Hayes and Andy Kidd. Bill Peterson, the NASL commissioner, held his annual preseason press conference this week. I want to get your reaction to some of the things that came out of that. First and foremost, David, they're looking at 2 groups that want to bring the NASL back to Atlanta with an MLS club coming there. Is that a good move?
I think so. Atlanta, for me, I played so many seasons in Atlanta that there's a good fan base, and I think that will support the MLS and the NASL. So I think it's a good move.
Yeah, if it's the right ownership group that is committed to keeping a team in Atlanta, what you can't have is have Atlanta come in for 1 year and then the next year they're out, or 2 years down the road they're out. Because for the NASL to grow, you want to start building those traditions and those rivalries. And really in the Southeast, besides Florida, there's not a ton of teams right now. So I think Atlanta is a natural hub.
Speaking of growing the league, we're hearing San Francisco and Chicago as possible expansion sites down the road. What do you think about those 2 cities?
I think, again, they could be great. They have a lot of potential. They have a lot of other options for their fans to spend their money with, NFL, MLB, NBA in a lot of those cities. Chicago has hockey as well. So, it just has to be the right ownership group. I think it has a ton of potential, but the NASL really has to be strategic about the cities they
absolutely the right ownership group. That's what I feel. But we need to get more in the Midwest and in the West.
Which obviously right now nobody in the Western time zone, in the Pacific time zone, in the North American Soccer League. In Canada, they're looking at a pro league. How would it affect the NASL if Edmonton and Ottawa were to join that league instead of staying with the NASL?
Yeah. I would be a little disappointed. I think the NASL would be a little disappointed because you started to build some of those traditions. You started to build some of those rivalries where Ottawa's in the championship, and they're making runs, and it's one of your, I don't know if it's a flagship organization, but it's done well. So I think for the NASL to thrive over a long period of time, you want those teams that are committed to NASL, for forever, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a little bit of a hit, but I like what Mr. Peterson said, is that if they want to go, I mean, they can go. I can't worry about that, but we're going to continue to grow. So it just shows that they're committed.
It would make for a few shorter flights for some teams, particularly all the teams in Florida. Right. Andy Kidd and David Hayes, thanks so much. Coming up, the Armada make it about pride and team colors. Stick around. More Armada Kickoff is straight ahead. This week, the Armada rolled out a new campaign called Blue and Bold, focusing on the connection with the city and the pride of being a supporter of the club. And it just so happened to come just ahead of single match tickets going on sale. It's like it was planned that way. If you've been waiting to buy tickets to one match in particular, maybe the opener on April the 15th, Now's your time to get your seats and be blue and bold yourself.
Another great opportunity for fans to get tickets at a great price is with our Kraken Pack. Buying this pack gets you to 8 Armada games, including the season opener and community first part against Miami FC, and a match against new NASL opponent Rayo OKC. There are 2 bundles of games to choose from, both just $88. So release your Kraken and join the fleet by calling 844-2-ARMADA or going to armadafc.com.
Hey, we want to invite you out to the Anchors Away Party April 2nd at Sweet in the St. John's Town Center, 4 until 7 p.m. You'll have a chance to ask questions to head coach Tony Miola. We'll introduce the roster. There's an autograph session, music, inflatables, food and drinks. Come on out April 2nd at Sweet for the Anchors Away Party.
Also on April 10th, the Armada will be hosting the Blue and Bold Pub Crawl, presented by Void Magazine, Intuition Ale Works, and Hoptinger Beer Garden and Sausage House. To watch the boys in blue in their NASL home opener up in New York. The crawl will begin at Flask and Cannon and move through the beach bars, ending at Hoptinger before the broadcast kicks off. Pre-registration is $20, so be part of the Blue and Bold.
And remember, you can get the very latest on the Armada online at armadafc.com, on radio on the Armada Soccer Show, Wednesdays at 6 on Sports Radio 930, and Armada Kickoff every Thursday night right here at CW 17 at 10 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Cole Pepper.
And I'm Ashlea Bullington. We leave you today with our Armada selfie montage. See you next time on Armada Kickoff.